WeatherTech Stone and Bug Deflector Performance. Well, good morning everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and welcome back to the channel. So how is the performance of the WeatherTech Stone and Bug Deflector? You know, I put this on a few weeks ago, been running the truck on the freeways, back roads, behind big trucks, semis, stuff like that. And I figured it was a good time to kind of get on here and let you guys know what the performance is like of this deflector. Now, first of all, let me tell you, this is the higher profile, more rigid version. WeatherTech also has a lower profile version, and you can check that out over at Jesse Rizzo, buddy of mine on YouTube. He did an install recently with the low profile version, so go check him out, Jesse Rizzo. Anyway, I put this on a couple, 3-4 weeks ago, something like that. And I gotta say, when I first came across this product, actually when somebody suggested it to me, I wasn't real hip on it, you know? I thought, man, it's gonna make the truck look aged. It's gonna make the truck look older. I don't know, perception, you know? But I decided to give it a try because down here where I'm at in South Texas in the RGV, we get a lot of stones. You can't go to a restaurant or a parking lot without seeing probably 80–85% of the cars with some kind of a crack in their windshield. I don't know if it's the heat, I don't know if it's the material, the asphalt that they use, but it's really bad here. So that was the main motivation for me getting it. I gotta say though, after putting it on, I really kind of dig it. I like the way that it looks on the truck. And I think both versions, either the higher profile like I have or the low profile, both add something to the truck. Now, for this in particular, kind of blends in and matches with my mirrors and my tail lights, all that shinier black stuff that I have on my truck. So, pretty happy with it from an aesthetic standpoint. Mosquitoes out here, man. I think it looks really good. But, performance-wise, well, first of all, it's not going to stop everything that's coming at your truck, right? I mean, if a stone flies up and it's above the deflector, obviously, it's not going to do anything with that. And again, this is a deflector, right? It's designed so that when things hit it, deflects them off or over the truck. Bugs, stones, whatever. So anything that you can get to protect your windshield, you know, that $700 to $1,500 thing on the front of your truck is a win for me. So far, again, having driven behind trucks and semis and things, I haven't had any issues with it. I am really, really happy, and I haven't had, fingers crossed, any stones or any kind of chipping or cracking in my windshield since putting this on. And I gotta say, all three vehicles that I've had here, you know, my Tundra, my wife's Jeep JL, my Jeep Gladiator back here, every one of them have had a chip or a crack in the windshield since I've been here. So, I don't know if that's a testament to the performance or effectiveness of this, but I gotta say, it's working out pretty well so far. Now, as far as the install, another reason I guess I went with this versus the one that Jesse did was because this is a bolt-on application. There's some little inserts that go in existing holes in the hood, and then you screw it in. That's it. No adhesives, no real direct contact with the top of the hood. And I like that. The one that Jesse did, it actually has adhesive on the back. You have to stick it to your hood. I wasn't real hip on that for a couple reasons. One, I didn't want anything contacting the hood, right? If that doesn't bother you, then maybe the lower profile one would be a good option. And two, I wasn't real confident in how long it would stay on there, right? I mean, it is, in essence, just stuck to the hood. There's nothing mechanical holding it on. But, given the adhesives that we have these days, probably not a big issue. Back to the contact with the paint, you know, I always worry about putting anything on the paint. You know, I have a couple of badges on the side of my truck, channel badges. Some people have seen them before. They're actually held on by magnets. And I did that because I didn't want anything stuck to the truck, you know. The most damage you're ever going to get from a magnet is if you don't clean it up, and that's on you, and you stick it on there with dirt and grit behind the magnet and then twist it around. Then it's kind of like sandpaper, right? So I'm not big on sticking things to the truck, but Again, from an appearance standpoint, the lower profile is going to be more tucked down to the hood. You're not going to have it sticking up like this one does, but I think this one looks pretty good anyway. Now, one other thing I want to mention regarding the install of this. In the directions and supplied with the kit, they tell you to stick on these little bumpers, I guess they're called. And the point of those are to keep this from contacting the hood. Now, this is pretty rigid. It doesn't really move a lot. It takes a lot of effort and force to make it move. The other one, which sits right down on the hood, the lower profile version, is pretty flexible. But it is against your hood, so it's not going to move around. I don't think this one is going to either. I mean, the biggest point where it could actually move would be here on the edges. And again, if you put a decent amount of force on it, it does move a little bit, but it would take a huge bug, I'd hate to run into that guy, or stone or boulder to really push this thing against your hood where it actually contacts the paint. And I think if that happens, you probably have bigger problems than worrying about trying to deflect that and maybe having this thing impact your paint. Now, what you're supposed to do is take that little bumper and stick it via adhesive to the actual paint on the hood. I didn't like that idea, so much so that I wasn't going to use them at all. However, I decided to go ahead and stick them up underneath the deflector itself. I mean, what's the difference on where you put it, right? If the whole point is for it to contact that bumper if it should hit your hood, why not put it there? So I actually did go ahead and do that. I went and put the bumpers up underneath. They're fastened underneath on each side, and there's just one on each side of the bug and stone deflector itself. I think that's fine. Again, I think they're pretty much useless. I don't think they're ever going to come into play, but for peace of mind, why not? I had them. The directions said to use them. So I did. So bottom line, would I recommend this? Absolutely. I love the look of it on the truck. I think it looks pretty good. I don't think it detracts from the truck in any way. And if you have a black truck, this is really going to blend in, and at first glance, you probably aren't even going to see it. I noticed in Jesse's install, the lower profile version, he has a dark truck, and man, it's hard to even tell it's there. So they blend in pretty good. I think they enhance the look of the truck myself, and I don't have any issues with it. From a performance standpoint, like I said, I haven't had any issues on my windshield, fingers crossed, since I put this on. So it's performing, at least best I can tell, pretty good so far. We'll see going down the road, you know, if I have any issues, and certainly if there are going to be any issues here in the RGV, I'm in the right place for that to happen, I gotta tell you. Anyway, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, particularly if you have one of these, either the low profile version or the higher profile version like I have here, how it's performing for you, what its performance is like, and if you've had any issues or noticed any improvement since you put it on. Also, real quick, if you haven't before and you're interested, check out my other channel. It is RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator back there. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.